Hello,
Hello.
I'm here for your cheese. Anyway, this is Tism Talks, where we talk about anything we just so feel like. Today we're going to be talking about Bob Ross, but before that, me and my co-host for today, Ella, are going to have some small talk. So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. What have you done this past last week, month, year?
A lot. Not like too much, but a lot. Just a lot of family things, hanging out with a lot of friends. Got a friend living with us for the summer, so yeah. Playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. A lot of Dead by Daylight.
So how was that jump scare from Glitch Trap?
Interesting. Who knew that when you are just sitting over top of one killer, just out of nowhere, just if you're on it for too long in the shop, it'll jump scare you. Glitch traps was pretty interesting.
I see.
Now, how about you? What have you been doing for this past day, week, month, year, etc.?
I've been committing tax fraud. What else? Oh, I probably should have said that on camera. Well, hi IRS, you won't find me. Anyway, I've done nothing really too eventful. I've mostly played games. I started a Minecraft SMP server. Go check out the gaming channel. I think, right? Yes. I remember my own things.
Totally.
I remember my own name.
I forget I have a middle name.
I don't, because I have one friend that calls me by it. For the sole fact of their dad's name's also David.
Nobody calls me by my middle name. Sometimes people don't even use my name, so I'll
You
hear my name.
over there, here.
Basically, how it goes.
One of my friends is a few of my friends are whistle trained. Clicker trained, not whistle trained. Clicker. You know the dog clickers?
Oh.
It also works for pens.
Just start clicking your pen in class.
You want to know what I always have on me? A pen. It's some of the things that are in my bag over there. Pens.
I have a lot of pens and pencils in my bag. Perks of being an artist.
Alright, so by the power invested in the crown on my head and the glasses on my face, we should probably talk about Boob Ross. Which, fun fact, until recently I did not know was a military man. That was an interesting piece of lore to learn, because I just assumed he was a very good painter. No, I was wrong. Anyway, so I have a introduction. So Bob Ross was born on October 29th. Yep, I thought I read that wrong for a hot sec. In 1942, and was born into his two parents. In Daytona Beach in Florida. He was born to Ollie Ross and Jack Ross. His father was a carpenter, and his mother was a waitress. Now, obviously, what do you do when you're a kid growing up in the 1940s and 1950s, and your dad works somewhere? You usually go and you do the work with him. So eventually he goes and he does the work with his dad. Well, then he lost a bit of his finger in a carpentry accident. And then he really didn't want to do carpentry after that. I wonder why.
I mean, I wouldn't want to either, so...
Yes, but when he was a child, fun fact, he usually, went and found animals that were hurt. Like, for example, a bird with a broken wing. And he'd help it. He'd help most of the animals. So that's a pretty heartwarming thing. That sounds like a Bob Ross thing to do. So, on to the military segment here. So, what branch do you think Bob Ross was in?
I don't know much about military things.
All right,
Yes,
so
yes.
there's the U.S. Army, there's the Marines, there's the Air Force, the Navy, and the National Guard. No Space Force yet.
I'm gonna have to guess just the Army.
Guess again.
Navy?
Guess again.
Air Force?
There we go. Fun fact, his maximum rank was Master Sergeant. Anyway, he was stationed in Alaska a little bit, which you can actually see some of the mountain landscapes he was looking at in his artwork. Wow. From Alaska, he would spend some of his time just enjoying the views, because what else are you supposed to do in Alaska when you're deployed? So I found that to be rather interesting. Now, this is a lot different than what I would expect from the person that has an afro and talks ever so elegantly while painting.
Is the person that has made it so multiple of my friends can go to sleep at night.
I mean, I would fall asleep to his voice. It's a very soothing and calm voice to fall asleep to.
Yes, I have fallen asleep to his voice before, because sleeping's hard.
Me and my family at one point hosted a Bob Ross painting competition. So basically, we turned on the Bob Ross painting from the joy of painting, and then my aunt bought a bunch of mini canvases and some paints and paint brushes. So then we all sat there for like an hour painting Bob Ross landscape paintings, and they didn't turn out too well. My dad's turned out the best. And, well,
I should get my family to do that. I am like the only person that paints in my family, so.
I'll do it. I'll embarrass myself, by the way. Like, I bet you it will not look anywhere close up to standards. You want to know what I could draw? Stick figure.
I'm better at drawing than I am painting, and when I paint, I don't usually paint landscapes.
And I feel like landscapes would be rather easier versus people.
People is the only thing that I draw.
Yeah, to me, looking at it, seems like landscapes are a lot less complex than people.
Yes. Well, it did take me like 2 years to finally get hands right, but I still mess it up.
I've watched people try and draw hands. It doesn't really hand right.
Nope.
But, so, what if you're born with no arms, and you don't know what hands are yet? So, like, you see you have nothing, and then you see everyone else with these things. What's the child thinking? These are monsters.
What are these noodly things?
What are these
Springing
things?
from their shoulders.
How would a newborn know what shoulders are? What?
Oh, you're saying newborn? You said child. I was expecting like, well, that wouldn't make sense
Because then they would know.
They would know
what...
by then what arms are.
Exactly.
I wonder what goes through their head once they realize that they don't have any.
I wonder what language a deaf person thinks in, like they're born deaf.
I have always wondered that.
Like, do they picture the ASL signs in their head and that's their thoughts?
Well, there are different, like, some people think with thoughts, other people think with pictures. Some people think with both. I personally think with both. But also, there are different languages in ASL. So there's, like, American Sign Language, and there's Japanese, Spanish, French, yes. To have to guess German, etc. So.
German?
No.
The last time this happened, we got a community guide strike.
Yeah, you're not doing that on this podcast.
Just gotta stretch the arm, Just outward stretch.
Yeah.
I am the killer. Just gotta stretch.
Next, you're accidentally gonna get some Sharpie right here on your lip, aren't you?
Accidentally, yeah. I'm gonna accidentally also get rejected from art school in Austria, and then I'm gonna move to Germany, where I'm gonna pursue a life in politics. This crown on my head will mean so much more to the fatherland in Germany. Just wait.
Help me.
Why are you in the corner now?
Because my name is Richard and I'm playing my recorder.
Where's the recorder?
Do 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 do.
This is very off topic from Bob Ross.
How do we go from Bob Ross to Hitler?
Oh, that's a very good question. Apparently now I'm going to be known as that Nazi guy.
If we keep talking about that, we're gonna get canceled. This is our
That's
first episode.
Which means it won't make it to Twitter. So we're fine. If it makes it to Twitter, that might be...
Well, we had a good run. Anyway, should we get back on our original topic?
We could get back on the original topic. That would be the smart thing to do.
Yes. But first, I have a dinosaur.
You have a dinosaur?
I have a dinosaur.
What random? I don't have random things in my pocket. I got sunglasses in my pocket. They aren't meme glasses. They're actual sunglasses that I wore. That's all I have. Oh, well, you have a shelf to grab from. That's not fair. I got a wallet to grab from next. So we're continuing with Boo Bruce.
Yes.
Alright, so he started out his military career and joined the Air Force, like we stated, when he was 18. And he ended up serving 20 years in the Air Force. And he spent most of his military service in an air base in Alaska, like I stated. And he saw all of his mountains. So anyway, he returned back to Florida, and where he was stationed for a little bit. And he took his very first painting lesson at Uso Anchorage. Alright. And he would sell his paintings to tourists. Because what else are you supposed to do? The military don't get paid that much. So, assuming he was getting paid the average salary, well, he's a master surgeon, so no, not average salary, but it's still not enough. I also wonder how much he sold these art pieces for. I am also very curious of how much they're worth now. Like, now that he's dead and they were, like, his first works.
They'd probably be a lot, which I've bought, like, little paintings, and those have been, like, $15, $20, and they've only been, like, this big. But it takes a lot of work to paint, so...
Yeah,
And oil paints are not cheap. I got a whole box of them for, like, $10. So that's how much it is for each tube.
I've looked at Bob Ross painting prices, and, they're not very kind. They are, I think the highest I saw it was in the millions. Like, there is a website you can go and you can look at Bob Ross art pieces. And, like, some are open for, like, selling or are going to be. They are not cheap.
Moral of the story is don't buy them. Unless
no, the moral of the story is do buy them and then give them to us. That's the preference.
I mean, you can see my walls are pretty bare as we speak.
Yes, we have to fix how bare the walls are.
We also are just going to ignore the pile of posters in the corner of my room.
What posters?
Exactly.
Yep. Alright. So, on his painting journey, him and his partners then started the famous TV show The Joy of Painting, Which, fun fact, at the height of its viewership, it received over 80 million viewers.
Damn.
And that's not counting today, where people just watch Bob Ross.
I mean,
On Twitch and YouTube, he got over like 5.6 million views, and so many people just watch his painting take place on YouTube.
I mean, I'm wearing Bob Ross socks as we speak, so.
Yeah, I mean, I've found myself watching Bob Ross paint because it's very, very calming to just watch him paint and talk about what he's painting. Well, anyway, he died at the age of 52 on July 4th, 1995, in Orlando, Florida, due to complications with lymphomia. I said that wrong. I know I did for a fact. So, any questions about Bob Roos that you have from what I read you?
Don't really think I have any questions.
Alright, pop quiz. What was the name of his dad?
It started with an O. Did it? Did it start with an O?
You tell me.
I want to say it's not Ollie. But that sounds right.
Ollie Ross.
Ha ha.
Alright, what was his top rank?
I don't remember that one.
Okay, what was his peak viewership?
You said it was 80 million?
There we go. Alright, and bonus question, when was the very first episode aired? I'm looking for a year.
That's the one that I'm not good at. 19... Is it in the 80s or the 90s?
It is in the 80s.
80s.
Where in the 80s, though, if you had to take a guess?
82.
Congratulations, you got that right.
Ha!
Fun fact that The Joy of Painting also went for approximately, I think it said 32 seasons.
Ooh.
That's a lot of seasons, and that's a lot of painting.
Very much so. Seasons have around 20-30 episodes.
Yeah. So, congratulations, you passed my pop quiz to make sure you were paying attention. Good thing you were paying attention. So, what plans you have for 4th of July? Because that's tomorrow. So, happy early 4th of July. Don't shoot Roman candles at each other. That's assault.
My uncle one time shot a bottle rocket out of the window of his car while he was driving by our house because his horn didn't work and he wanted to honk at us. So he used a bottle rocket instead because that's what
you do.
And it came back and whacked him in the arm.
Did it explode in his arm, or did it just, fly back into his arm?
I don't necessarily remember because I was 10 at the time.
I see, okay.
But for my plans for 4th of July, so I live in basically 2 areas. My brother has a house down the state that we live in. So I sometimes go back for holidays to spend time with family and friends, which my best friend, her family's down there, which she's actually in the summer. So we're going down there with my aunt and uncle, same uncle that hit himself with a bottle rocket, for 4th of July. It's also my little cousin's 4th birthday, so we got that all on Saturday.
Well, it sounds like you're gonna love socializing.
Yes, also fireworks and parades, so loud noises.
I mean, the fireworks at least have pretty colors.
Yes, fireworks are very pretty. Parade is cool because I normally see a lot of people that I know. I was actually in it last year for the library because that's where I spent almost all of my summer. Me has no social life. Tell me, where did I meet you again?
A library.
Thank you. But yeah, the parade is pretty nice. when I was in it last year. I was helping hold like a giant flag or something with one of my other friends. My friend saw me and ran at me full speed and gave me a hug in the middle of the street, then ran back. So those are my plans. What are your plans for 4th of July?
I don't think I have any. I do think I'm going to go into town to watch the fireworks.
Ooh.
And I think those are on actually 4th of July. They might be a little bit later. I'm unsure. But I do know I am going to probably be watching those and hanging out with friends.
Alright.
And hopefully, we'll have burgers that night too. And I could go for some burgers.
Go for a hot dog. My uncle normally grills hot dogs for 4th of July.
Counter offer, brats.
Brats are amazing. What's your favorite kind?
My favorite kind of brat would have to be the cheese-filled ones.
That's valid. Those are good. Now, I personally like the pineapple teriyaki ones that have little chunks of pineapple in them.
Ooh. I don't think I've had those ones. Those do sound pretty good, though.
Those and some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Mwah. I've been yelled at for my obsession of barbecue sauce because I don't like chili. And on chili cheese dog nights, I put barbecue sauce on my hot dog instead of chili. I've been yelled at for this.
I see. Well, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna pull out a notebook and just write that down.
You are regretting what you signed, aren't you now?
I never once said that. I'm just saying I'm just gonna make that a note.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, that shall be the end of the very first episode. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.